A while back, I saw this woman make a video about her best friend cheating on her fiance before their wedding. And I saw Abba and Preach react to it, but it's a different video, different names. So I don't know if it's satire at this point or if it's real. However, I want to react to it because I want to know what you guys would do also. And I'll tell you guys what I would do in this situation. But listen up, because it's actually like, if this is real, this is crazy.
I broke up with my best friend of 8 years and told her that I wasn't coming to her wedding because I found out that she was cheating on her fiance. And y'all can say that I'm not a girl's girl for that, but hear me out. She had been obsessed with Elliot, which is her fiance, obsessed with getting him to propose to her. Once he did propose, all she cared about was wedding day, wedding day, wedding day. She wanted to look top tier for her wedding, right? So she joins this new little gym, okay? She gets a personal trainer. Her little personal trainer, we'll call him Joe, okay? Her and Joe are spending a ton of time together, like all the time. She stopped talking about the wedding so much and was just like totally talking about her and Joe time and how Joe was helping her work on her quads and like all of this stuff. Mind you, we're friends. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the gym with you one day. And I noticed that her and Joe, they're extra flirty. They're real flirty. While I'm at the gym, I'm talking to Joe and I basically observed the fact that Joe doesn't live in the same town as us. Joe lives actually about 45 minutes away, okay? I found that interesting for later. I'm having brunch with my friend about a week after that, and all she talks about is her and Joe. And I'm like, you really haven't mentioned much about the wedding at all, like in a while, like what's going on? And that's when she tells me she's just been focusing on her. Now, about a month out from her wedding, her fiance, Elliot, he flies home for his bachelor trip because that's where they're going to have it. Like, he's from Vegas. So he goes to Vegas for his bachelor trip. And we decided to take her out, for hers.
You know what's funny? I have friends who have lied to me before showing my face, thinking that I don't know that they're lying to me. And I'll look at them dead ass and I'll be like, in my head, I'm like, you really think I don't know you're lying to me right now? But you know what? You're clearly either ashamed or you know I'm going to put you in your place. So let's just not talk about it. And I'll wait till you admit it to me. But anyways, let's continue.
And she wants to stay in the city. And we're like, okay, fine. Tell me why the whole time she's on her phone, constantly on her phone. I'm like, are you texting Elliot? What's going on? She's like, no, it's Joe. It's Joe. Like, he made this joke, blah, 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 blah. Tell me why at around like 11:30, she says that she wants to call it a night. She's feeling kind of tired. It's her bachelorette trip, okay? The night hasn't even started yet and you're tired. Okay, I'm not a huge drinker, so I'm like, whatever, say less, say less. My husband's stoked that I'm coming home, right? We pop a couple spicy cubes, go at it for a couple hours, and I'm up pretty late. I go check my phone at around I'd say it's like 2:45. And I go to text my best friend, okay? Because I'm like, girl, you gotta bring these for your honeymoon. Well, you know how on iMessage it tells you where the person's at when you go to text them? Tell me why she's in a little town about 45 minutes away.
This is why I don't share my location. Not because I have something to hide, but because I know my friends will stalk me. And they'll be like, Sharon, I see you. Sharon, I know where you are. Sharon, where are you going? Da da da. And it's like, don't bother me. Do not bother me. Don't be one of those friends that stalk me. Please, for the love of God. Like, don't. But if you're going to give your location out to your friends, be mindful of who you're giving it to and who you're lying to. Because imagine it's like someone tells you like, oh, I have your location. I see where you're going. Why are you lying to me? That's basically what it is. So it's like, not only did they lie to your face, but now you could see the location and you want to lie to me on top of it about whatever it is you're doing. I know what's going on. Like, I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb, So it's kind of funny that her friend, if this is real or not, whatever, but if it is, her friend's going to do all that. And she thinks her friend cannot put pieces together knowing she has her location. You know, they say women are better cheaters than men. This girl isn't.
Yeah, you clocked it. The same little town that Joe's from. Same.
So you're lying to me. You're not going to tell me the truth at all. I have your location. I know where your trainer lives. You're talking about your trainer 24/7. And you don't think I could put the pieces together?
Little town Joe's from. Now I find this quite interesting. You left your bachelorette trip so that you could go hang out with your personal trainer. So I screenshot that. And I text her the next morning and ask her if she wants to go get brunch. She said she has a really busy day and she can't. Blows me off. Okay, fine. A couple of hours pass and I end up having a missed call from Elliot. He texts me and says that he needs my best friend to call him. And I'm thinking, that's odd. So I call my friend and I'm like, I don't want to say your name. We'll call her Sarah. I call Sarah and I'm like, hey, Sarah, why is Elliot calling me looking for you? She's like, oh, I've got a surprise happening for him right now. Like, please just like don't text him back. I'm on my way home anyway. Like I told him I was with you. Okay. I'm like, so what's the surprise? She's like, I can't really talk about it right now. Okay. Mind you, her location, still in that same little town.
She really thought her friend was stupid. Really, truly thought. The location is on. The surprise is that you cheated on your man. That's a surprise.
Okay. Now I feel guilty ignoring Elliot because like that's just not my personality. And mind you, it's not like she's came out and was open and honest with me in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying her whole life is my business, but she's being sus. I'm your best friend. You can't even really tell me what you've got going on. Even if you're in the wrong, like you're not going to tell me. This goes on for quite some time that I catch her location being at this exact address, okay? The next weekend was our best friend's birthday, and she completely ditched all of us. Guess where she was? At that location. So I call her up, and I'm like, we got to talk. We meet up, we're getting dinner, and I'm like, I know that you've been at Joe's. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, girl, I've seen your location. I know you've been there. Like, you just need to come clean. Like, obviously you're into him. Like, she's like, no, I'm not. We've hung out. What's so wrong with that? And I'm like, you're engaged and you've hung out at 2:45 in the morning. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, I've seen your location. Like, I know where you've been. She's like, it doesn't even matter. Like, I've ended things with him. I'm like, oh, you've ended things with him. She's like, yeah, I've ended things with him. I'm like, so you guys had a thing going on? And she's like, yeah, we did. Obviously, you know, because you've been creeping on me. I'm like, I'm not being creeping on you. Like, I'm not trying to be like not a girl's girl. She's like, obviously, you know, and you're judging me. I'm not trying to judge you, girl. We make mistakes, you know, people make mistakes, but like, just be honest with me. Be honest with Elliot. Say something. Like, you're not 20 years old. You're 30. Like, girl, frontal lobes developed. I fear you know better.
You're 30 years old and you're doing this? Grow the hell up. What's wrong with you? This is a woman, I'm convinced she has commitment issues. Because if you're going to tell me you're not able to actually set roots down by the age of 30, you have some serious commitment issues that you need to work on. You need a therapist, ma'am.
And that's when she tells me she refuses to tell him and that she doesn't want me to be her maid of honor anymore because I'm even asking her to. I'm like, so you really feel comfortable knowing that 2 weeks ago you were with another man and now you want to go marry him? 2 weeks ago you're with another man. And she tells me that I'm a terrible friend and that's out of my business. And I was like, you know what? I can't be friends with you because honestly, I don't think I can trust you. And I don't keep people in my circle who I can't trust. Literally 2 days later, Elliot is blowing up my phone because he says that he knows that something's not right with her and that something's been going on and he just wants someone to be honest with him. The thing is, this man would still marry her in a heartbeat, knowing what she did, as long as like she was just honest. So my thing is, I don't think if I told him the truth that it would blow up their wedding, but do we think he deserves to know, considering this was 2 weeks ago? I'm not going to attend the wedding and I just can't be her friend because I can't trust her. But what about him?
So much has happened here, but it's the ending that gets to me. You're going to tell me, because I'm holding you accountable and saying, you need to tell him or whatever it is, basically saying you need to tell him, I'm no longer your maid of honor after the shit I probably did for you for your wedding. What? Because I'm being a friend and holding you to a high standard. Now, I don't know if I would tell my friend she needs to tell her fiance. I don't really know what I would do in this situation. I'm really torn because I do agree with her. And the worst part is that if my friend's fiance is coming to me and telling me what's wrong with her, what's wrong with so and so, she's not okay, she's not herself, what's happening, and I have to sit there lie to him for her. Yeah, that's loyalty, but that's also very toxic. Cuz why are you dragging me into your marital issues now? How is that fair to me? That's not fair. And he's obviously going to call me on top of it. Yeah, he's obviously going to call me on top of it because he knows I'm your best friend. So if I'm your best friend, who else is he going to run to for guidance? Because he thinks I know everything. But yet you lied to me in front of my face. You've been acting weird in front of my face. You've been ditching us and not wanting to hang out with us for whatever reasons. It makes things draining and a problem later. And I don't think that's fair. So a part of me says, yes, I would say something. But then a part of me says, I would mind my own business. I think it truly depends on the conversation I have with my friend. And especially if my friend knows that he would take her back in a heartbeat, then that's kind of like a different story altogether. In this next video, she goes and has refreshing everybody of like what happened, all that stuff, and the story behind it. But it's what she does in the end that's like, interesting.
Basically, that conversation ends in, I'm not coming to your wedding and you're not my maid of honor. And I'm like, okay, bet. A couple of days, Elliot's calling me and texting me, telling me that he knows something's going on with her and he really wants to talk to me, right? And I feel bad because like I am a girl's girl at the end of the day, but also I'm a human. Before I meet up with Elliot, I basically am like, I'm gonna give Sarah one more chance. And I go to text her and like, hey, can we please meet up? Where do you think she's at when I go to text her? Her location is in that same little place right outside the city. She's literally still with John. And at that point, I'm just like, obviously, I've given you every opportunity possible, right? I've given you every opportunity.
So now the name went from Joe to John. This is why I say I don't know if it's satire or not. Anyways.
Like, you're not going to tell him. I need to tell him. So I've invited him over to my house. And at this point, he knows everything that I know. I sat him down and I was like, what do you know? And he was like, I know that like she's not coming home at night. She's lying about where she's at. And I also know that, you know, she told him that I was no longer the maid of honor and he wanted to know what happened between us because he figured that they were all connected. And I was like, dude, what do you know about John? And he was like, I don't like the relationship. I've tried to ask her, you know, to stop going there. And I was like, well, she's not just going to the gym with him. And I basically have to tell him everything that I know. And at this point, she doesn't know that he knows. And he said he's going to try to catch her in a lie. He doesn't want her to know like that I told, basically, because he's like, I don't want that to ruin y'all's friendship. I'm like, it's already ruined. And that's how much this guy cares about her too. But at the end of the day, he still wants to marry her, but not if she's obviously in love with this other man and still actively with this man. You know, it's one thing if she cut it off, but I guess it's another thing that she's still actively doing it because clearly that was what she wants to do. So I don't know. Just like, should I tell her that he knows? Apparently they don't share locations and she still has her location up for me. And he's like, can you help me catch her? And I'm like, at this point, I'm this deep. I guess I have to help him.
Wow. Okay, so she did tell him in the end, and he knows everything. So clearly, again, the woman sucks to be a liar. She can't lie for the life of her. She's a terrible cheater, clearly. And it just goes to show that she has no respect for her fiance. Because if her fiance says, I don't like that you spend so much time with this man that's your personal trainer, please stop, and you're not doing so, it says a lot about you too. But this also proves my point. I made a video a while back about personal trainers, and I'm going to attach it onto this video, and you guys are going to and go watch it later. But I basically said, there's a personal trainer that basically said that all trainers that are men cheat. All personal trainers that are men hook up with their clientele, with their female clientele. So you're going to tell me this story right here doesn't prove my point for my video. It does. First of all, it's classless and unprofessional. And it just stems to the fact that it's like, as a woman, why are you doing this stuff? If you've been waiting years for a man and this person to be with you, to marry you, what's the point? What was the point? You wasted so much time for what? The man's now like, bro, like if you don't want me, and it's crazy too is that he literally is saying he still wants her, but not if she's in love with someone else. Do you understand how crazy that is? That means he truly loves her, and he finally found the balls to propose to her. Did so. They finally get the wedding their dreams, and she's like, let me sabotage it. Let me sabotage it. Tell me, do you make sense? It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. And this is the gag. It's the gag. So it's like, in this situation, ladies, would you hold your friend accountable? Would you tell her fiance? Or will you be a girl's girl, hold her secret, and roll with it and tell the guy he's delusional, he's going crazy? Even though he knows that there's stuff going down. And if he approached you, what would you do? And he says, I know this is going on. I know X, Y, and Z. I want to know why you're no longer a maid of honor. What would you do? Would you want your lick back and be like, oh, well, she doesn't make me a maid of honor. I'm coming back. I'm going to let her man know everything. What would you do? I'm really curious because this is crazy. It's crazy to me. And the woman is 30 years old. Mind you, we don't know if this is a real story, but I'm just saying, 30 years old and you're doing all that, why get married at this point? If you cannot maintain a committed relationship, why are you wasting people's time? Honest opinion. Anyways, that's all I have to say. I don't know what I would do in this situation. I'm really conflicted. I'm like, I would, but I wouldn't, but I would. Because it's like, even though I have a rule of thumb that even though we're no longer friends, whatever happened, happened. And, you know, signed, sealed, disclosed. But I don't know. Everyone has their own different opinions. And I feel like in some cases, people, their pride does get to them and they will let the partners know. But would you let the partners know? No, I'm curious about that. I don't know personally. I'm very like, ooh. Yes, I know. I'm 50-50. What are you? Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and make sure you're subscribed if you guys want to keep up with all the videos that are coming out every single day. Bye.